Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas. Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union,
Good morning, Huntsville.
Hey, I promise we're here. Hey. Yeah, there we go. Billy, what's going on? Catch a tone.
Don't catch a tone, me boy.
What was that on? Catch a tone. What's going on? You remember that? What does catch a tone mean?
At my age, I don't really remember a whole bunch of things.
Is catch a tone like when you're getting a hearing test? You catch a tone.
I thought that was like a river in Louisiana. Catch a tone.
Catch a tone river? All right.
I don't know.
Catch a tone. Let us know what you think of. Look, Billy, check it out. Look up here. You like that? He got you up on the big screen.
Good looking people sitting up there.
Well, that guy in the green's pretty good. That guy in the whatever that. What is this color?
Isn't that like a grayish?
Look. Turn it up some.
Turn it up some.
It's I don't know what color this is. Red, purple, maroonish. You could say maroonish, right? Maroonish. I don't know.
I'm probably not your color asking person.
You know who is?
Who it is?
Our friend.
Your friend. You got a friend in me.
Our friend here. Watch this. I'm just going to take a picture here.
And they're going to say it's gray.
I'm going to take a picture.
I think you should lower that down where it's the same angle as the cameras.
Which one? Oh, that TV monitor?
Yeah.
Nah, because I want you to be like this.
I do have a neck. It's hid under my chin.
Did you ever see the mugshot of a guy and he was real big and he was all neck? And
it was like so muscular, like I don't know, like wedges. Yeah.
There was no extension from here to here. It was just all.
It looked like a head.
Like this.
It looked like a head with two bookends holding it in place.
Hey, I think I'm going to start doing a show like this, Billy. Look, can you try that? Does it work for you?
It don't take much for me.
Look, let's just start doing it like that.
Turtle.
Hi, how are you? All right. Yes, so the AI has told me this morning my shirt is a maroon or reddish textured cloth. Look, here's what it said about, this is my arm, okay? Mm-hmm. Here's what the AI says. It looks like a maroon or reddish textured cloth that is draped over a monitor, likely to reduce screen glare.
Screen glare?
I can't say that word. Screen glare. Or block visibility for a camera or audience. The fabric has a crosshatch weave, and behind it you can see a computer screen displaying what appears to be broadcasting or streaming software. Wow, okay, got that right. There are visible cables and a chair at the bottom, suggesting a live stream studio or AV setup. There you go, Billy. There it is. There it is, Billy.
Thanks, AI, yet again, for what you do and don't do for us.
Have you did the roast me on AI yet?
Yeah, you did it. You did it for me a couple times ago.
Hey, let's do it for both of us real quick.
Well,
you
hey,
want to?
let's talk about this. So that's pre-brewing.
Yeah.
Program, that was actually getting aired.
Yeah.
Why am I in a red square?
Down there?
Yeah, number 2.
No, one is in the red square. 2 is in the green.
Okay, whatever color. That's why I said I'm not your color person.
Red means you're hot. You're live. Yeah, see, red hot. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell we're doing here.
All right, hold on, Billy. You ready for this? Here, just make some sort of a goofy face. Here we go. You ready for this?
My face is goofy on its own.
Here it is. Okay. Now then, we've taken this picture of us. Look, here we go. I kind of like this. Why did that say? Oh, I thought something just said it delivered. I was like, y'all better not deliver it. There's no way that they would have been able to deliver my stuff this early. Okay, here we are, Billy.
Oh, that reminds me, I can have a Amazon rant.
You got one?
Yeah, I guess.
I've never had an Amazon rant.
Oh, yeah, well.
All right, I'm gonna say this: roast these 2 guys, and I'm gonna say the guy in the green is a funeral home director. The guy on the right is a wannabe broadcaster. All right, here we go. You ready for this?
Okay.
So here's our roast this morning. You asked for it. Here it is. On the left, we've got the funeral home director who looks like he's been personally offended by joy. That's pretty good. Billy's face says, I've buried people with more enthusiasm than this show. I like that. The headset's not plugged in. He's just hoping the broadcast flatlines so he can take over and call it a service. And then on the right, Mr. I'm a broadcaster. No, really, just let me take one more selfie. Sir, if your career takes off half as fast as your shirt wrinkles, we're in trouble. He's got that I watched Joe Rogan twice, and now I think I'm a media mogul energy. Is he live streaming or just checking to see if anyone liked his last Facebook post from 2014? Together, they bring the energy of a small-town AM radio show at 4 a.m. with the decor of a Crackle Barrel broom closet. Welcome in to the Cracker Barrel broom closet here on another episode of Good Morning Huntsville.
You think we get Cracker Barrel to sponsor?
Boy, I wish we could. When's the last time you had a good Cracker Barrel?
It's probably been a year or so.
Well.
That's too long.
Well, brother, that's been too long.
I don't know, man. They kind of went woke, and I kind of went away.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, welcome in as we get rolling here on another episode of Good Morning Huntsville. We welcome you into our living room, the community living room, as we call it. I don't know if I've ever called it the community living room. Just did the first time. Billy, what do you think? Not a good analogy?
I think you need to clean your house.
Hey, I vacuumed the carpet 2 months ago. Yeah. Episode number 521. Big thank you, as always, to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all your jewelry needs. It's Elliot Herzlich, who will be with us at Rays of Hope next Thursday. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on. And a big thank you, as always, of course, to Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. They've been serving this community since 2002, but really, I mean, it's even been longer than that if you think about it with Greg being involved and being so active here in this area. A great organization when that time comes to where you need to make some tough decisions. Let Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home take some of that burden off of your shoulders, and they will guide you through that process so you can focus on what matters most, being around your family during that time, not being around a bunch of paperwork and scratching your head and trying to figure out what do I do and how do I do it. You guys do it from point A literally to point Z, everything in between. Mm-hmm. Y'all take care of it all, Billy.
Yeah, we don't force you to pick a package or anything like that.
So. Yeah, they don't walk in and, hey, it's like a car salesman. Hi, how are you? Pick a package.
Yeah. Do you want the Cypress or the Sycamore package?
Now, boy, this is has anyone ever reused a casket? I just got to ask this. I'm thinking, okay, I wouldn't think that no one ever would.
No,
like if something, like somebody got one and they're like, that one doesn't really look good. Let's move them into something else.
We have had people order caskets and they come in, they're like, oh no, that I don't like that. So we've had to order them another one.
When that happens, do you get to send that one back, or
we send it back.
And you get
that's the great thing of buying from a funeral home and not buying from Walmart.com.
Do they sell them?
Yeah, they do.
Do they really? People can buy their own caskets, huh?
Yeah, it's the dumbest thing you could possibly ever do. Yeah.
I wonder if Temu has them.
Probably the same manufacturer. If you ever seen a bottom fall out of a casket, I guarantee you it was one that was purchased online.
Probably not a good. Don't mess with it.
You're not saving anything. And if you want to get a dented casket, if you want to get one that's dented and you're going to get it the day of your service, that's the best way to do it.
Do they have like appliances where if something's dinged,
a scratch and dent?
Yeah, do they have that for caskets?
They do.
It's like you drive right down.
But
Harold's caskets down the street.
The people that we use is Matthews Aurora, and they that's all they do. It's funeral memorization stuff. It's caskets, so they are treated white glove the whole way through. So there's not a lot of scratch and dent. Normally, if they get scratched or dented, it's something that normally happens either in transit or maybe while it's in our care.
Yeah.
No. So
you got a call coming in, or you go? Oh, that's not your radio. For some reason, I thought that was your radio at first.
No, that's my cell phone.
So when that radio goes off, man, it's like I got to go.
Yeah, see ya.
I did want to bring up. I obviously won't go into the details about this, but there are certain things about the industry that I didn't realize still happen. One of them is sea burials. That's the thing. People, there's a process. We mentioned that I think a few months ago. But then there's people, and I'm not being morbid this morning. I'm just bringing up that this option is there for somebody if they really want a natural type burial. I mean, there's still an opportunity just to say, toss you in, and that's it, huh? I didn't realize that was a thing.
There is. That's what they refer to as a green burial, and there is some simplistic beauty with green burials, and what that consists of is you're not embalmed, you're not in the big bronze casket or anything. Normally, it's you're wrapped in what they call a shroud, which is ultimately linen cloth.
Yeah,
you're wrapped in that, and there's a cemetery here locally that we're partnered with. We go out and hand dig the hole. There's no gasoline powered equipment used.
Really?
Yeah, everything's by hand, as natural as it can be. Much like we would have buried 100 years ago.
Are you guys the one that actually has to go out there and dig that, or?
Yeah, Jason handles that.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but no, it's.
Do you at least get to use a big shovel? I mean, or do you have to use a little one?
You'll have to ask him. These things don't touch shovels, man. I'm allergic to the wooden handles.
Just the splinters get you, man.
Yeah, even with the gloves, man.
Wow.
I gotta sit in the car and drink Gatorade with the AC on. I don't.
Well, I'll bring this up. I know it's not a topic people are much interested in talking about, but I find it interesting because there's a lot that goes into a service. As I've gotten older. And I think for me, Billy, and maybe here's the inspiration for somebody out of all of this. It's like, how do you tie inspiration into this? For me, I'm comfortable with my beliefs, and I'm comfortable knowing that I'm going to be in heaven one day. And years ago, even as a believer, I kind of feared that day. Mm-hmm. And over the last few years, not that I want anything to happen to me. Obviously, I think 98 would be a good age. That's what my target is. I used to want to be 100. Now I think just 98 is where I'd like to get to.
I'll get anywhere close to that. But it's like the song says. It's not the thought of death. It's the thought of not being here.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
that scares me.
I think as I've gotten older, I've came to terms with a few things. And Jason here at first, and I know you guys have a great man, Jeff Powers, over at Christ the King. But, I think about that day, and obviously none of us want that day to come sooner than later. We want it to come later than sooner. But I'm at peace knowing that my family's taken care of, that I would obviously get to see them again one day. And when you're a believer, that's the inspiration this morning. When you're a believer, you don't have to fear the unknown. You really don't. You just have to have faith and know that the Lord is going to take you through it.
Yeah.
And it is just a whole new sense of peace that I've really, especially over the last 2 years, I would say, getting to know Jason here at first, even though I've heard these messages, my whole life basically. It's weird as you get older, things just kind of click, and I've talked to a lot of folks that are that are up in age, and none of them that I've talked to have ever really feared that are Christians. They said, I'm looking forward to the day that I get to see everybody again.
Exactly.
So you guys are in the business, and that's just what you do, and there is something that is, I don't know, about the way that you guys do things. This may sound corny, but there's something peaceful about the way that you guys work over there.
Yeah.
There's peace and comfort, even as just a guest walking in, not even to do anything related to a funeral service, just as a guest walking in to Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. There's a peace when I walk in over there.
There is peace in the valley.
Now, it depends. I mean, if Billy's back there and he has his TV guide, in the drawer, and you're like, oh, there's Andy Griffith is on today. It's kind of turned up a little bit. It's still peaceful.
Hey, you need to be nice to me because I'm missing MASH right now to be here with you. So.
You ever hum the tune?
Yeah, but what's crazy? You go and look up the actual title of that song. I don't think I'd use that. But anywho,
that'll be behind the scenes.
That's behind the scenes. Y'all look that up on your own. There's actually words to that song.
Really?
Yeah.
Are the words kind of depressing? Or you have to look it up.
What the song is versus the material of the show, that's not what I'd have picked. But no, I catch myself whistling the MASH theme all the time.
Oh, good night, the title of that.
Yeah.
Why would?
Exactly.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, and then the story behind it. That's something that's serious.
Yep.
My sister made a comment. We're going to take a brief break because I'm going to double check that our guests know to come in through the side door. We were supposed to have some guests this morning, but we'll take a quick break. My sister made this comment though, Billy, and I love this comment because she's exactly right. She says old age is a blessing because not everybody gets the chance to be old. Boy, nobody couldn't have said it any better. It is a blessing. Well, hey, let's take
Hey, this is what you ought to do is move that TV one thing down and then mount another one on top to where we can watch the comments.
Yeah, or I like that idea. Or just get rid of that one completely and put the comments up there.
I don't know. I kind of like that.
You like having that one?
Gives me something to look at.
What Billy's referring to, by the way, here, we'll have to.
Yeah, you're going to have to show the fine people of Facebook land or however you stream us.
They don't have any clue of what's going on. Oh, you know what? It looks like, what I get annoyed with, Billy? Whenever you've got an app on your phone that works perfectly fine, and I don't like to update apps, but I guess on your phone they like to automatically update. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? And okay, there we go. They have updated. Will this even flip now? Okay, they have updated my phone app here, and it's really messed stuff up. I've never opened it recently until now, and look at this, Billy. That's all sorts of errors on this thing now. Why don't they just leave it alone? There we go. All right, let me see if this works. We're going to hold this guy up. Here's what Billy's been talking. Yeah, it's working. There we go. There it is. That's what Billy was talking about right there. I think what is it, Billy? Right there. That's what Billy's talking about. We have a monitor here in the studio now to where you can kind of see a few things. So there you go. We even had that clock over there to keep us on time.
Yeah, but see, whenever y'all comment or text in, whenever you comment.
You comment to me, boy.
Whenever using your typewriter, it's still showing up on this little computer over here. So it looks like I'm really, really checking out Rob's knee over here. 'Cause it's a beautiful knee, but I'm actually trying to read the comments.
Thank you. Hey, wait, look over.
Because he promised me at one time that the computer would be on the desk, but
Yeah, we moved. Well, I had my laptop.
He
and it
blew
broke.
the other one up because he kept giving it too much water.
It broke. All right, so look, there you go, Billy. See, it looks like you're looking at me there. See my knee? That's a pretty good, well-defined knee.
That is a nice kneecap.
Really well-defined. Look at that. It's got a nice little indention there.
Old bony knee.
That's my new nickname, buddy.
Bony knees.
All right, well, we're going to take
Rick Longnecker always called me lantern legs because my legs are so white.
Wait, there's really a guy named Rick. What is it?
Longnecker.
That's his real name?
Yeah.
Did he own a brewery? That'd have been a great.
No, had a mechanic shop.
Longnecker Brewery would have been a really good business.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Boy, no one's ever thought of that.
Yeah, no, and his son has a pawn shop in Willis now. Really, really good people.
Longnecker Pond.
No,
It's not.
I hope it's not.
Man. Was it Long Necker Mechanic Shop?
Nope.
Golly, I would have used that, buddy. I would have ran with that. It's better than hip. I should have been a surgeon.
You should have.
And did
hips.
Yeah, it's like Benjamin buttons. Yeah. All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. As always, big thank you to Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. It's our family's serving years since 2002. We'll be back in a moment. Keep those comments coming. We'll get to them here in a little bit. Let us know you're out there, and also let us know what you're thankful for on this very, very faithful Friday. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
This is Billy Cawthon of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
All right, back as we continue on. New segment here. It's Amazon Rants. Billy Cawthon. What happened at Amazon? They've never messed up really much in nothing.
Dude,
I can't complain about it.
I am desperately waiting on stuff. Like, you go on and order replacement parts for something, and you're like desperately waiting. But, when you go on your little app or whatever, then, oh, man, you can have it tomorrow by 10 p.m. Oh, well, that's great. I need it tomorrow. So you order it,
Yeah.
If I needed it tomorrow, I'd have ordered it tomorrow, But anywho, so you're watching a little thing and it gets shipped, and you check your email first thing in the morning or whatever, and your package is here and it's out for delivery.
You get all excited.
Oh yeah, and it's it's going to be delivered between 10:30 and 1:24, and you're woohoo. And then, 124 done come and went, and now updated, your driver was delayed or something, and then now it's going to be delivered between 2 and 4:37, and it just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're watching it's got that little graph on there that tells it's ordered, shipped, out for delivery, delivered. It ain't that close to being delivered. And your phone will even tell you sometimes, it'll tell you how many stops away.
Yeah, it's like 10 stops away or whatever.
One stop away, and you're like, hell yeah, we finna get the part. We're going to get this thing fixed. We're back up and running. Tell everybody to come in a little bit. It's going to be running. Don't worry about it. Everything's good.
And then it doesn't show up.
Now delivering between 5 and 10 p.m.
And how does it go from the one stop remaining?
You run out there and you get on Microsoft Word and you get the largest format you can in your letters and you type out this big thing that says, Amazon driver, please leave package here. Because some of them will leave the packages and some of them will just the little Jetson truck and haul off, you know?
Yeah.
So you got your little sign out there and you're watching the security camera all night long waiting for Mr. Amazonian delivery man to drop your stuff, and then you check the app and your package will be delivered Wednesday between It was one stop away. What in hockey sticks happened? So now all these people that have dropped off their stuff for you to do this thing, now you can't do it because you didn't get to party, even though Amazon said they were one stop away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Shutting down my whole business over some cheap Chinese stuff.
Should have got it on Temu, man.
Should have got it on Temu.
Temu, though, you don't know what it's going to be shipped by. They use contract carriers, not like sometimes.
Temu, and I guess this is just a Huntsville of me. Temu confuses me. And I have bought some stuff from them. I bought a toolbox for my truck, not like, like one that just slides in the bed.
Was it made of like real heavy-duty parchment paper or something?
Yeah, but they spray painted it silver. It looks like diamond plate aluminum. No, it's actually a pretty good little box, and for what I paid for it, I mean, I couldn't have went down to Tractor Supply and got it for that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with it because it really had to fit a little area, and it fits perfect. So, but you go on there and you're just trying to order something from Temu. You know what you want, and you're trying to get it, but you got to spend the prize wheel, and you get 100% off, and then you get a second free gift, and then now you got to pick your free gift, and then it's like, I pay for all this stuff that was supposed to have been free, but I don't ever really get it.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't ordered on Temu.
Yeah,
I've been nervous
it tells
about
you got to pick 5 things that are free, and then you do your regular order. Well, your regular order comes in, and then one of the 3 things you picked. So are you only going to get one of the free 5 that I'm confused. I guess because Jacqueline didn't teach me how to use it or whatever, but
you didn't know how to spin the wheel properly.
I'm spinning the wheel, but it's funny. Every time I'm I could go to the casino and lose my butt, but I win every time on Temu.
Well, the problem is I haven't trusted Temu, and so I've never bought anything off of it, but I've heard of multiple people who have. The tragic news was there was that you heard about that warehouse. It was almost 100,000 square foot from Temu burned down here. I guess it was about 3 weeks ago, one of their major warehouses in the U.S. 100,000 square feet burned down. And
about $20 in product loss?
It's $54 in product loss, $54 loss.
That's like the ramen noodle truck that ran into the bridge. Total loss. They were out about 10 cents.
Yeah, they were out. But speaking of you mentioned something about a casino. I wanted to highlight this real quick, and then we'll have our friends here. Denise is here with the guests as well. We're excited to talk to them here in a few moments, highlighting some great things happening with our 4-H program. Yesterday, you and I had a privilege. The Lions Club put on a really good health and volunteer expo over at the Walker Education Center. And I thought about this because you mentioned the casino. Well, Naskala Gaming was sitting next to your table over there. Those are some really nice people. One of the chief of the tribe, that's a Indian reservation out in that area, and the chief actually came over to the Sam Houston, the March to Sam this year. They come every year, and got to know them. And I was really worried about pronouncing the name because it's a tough name to pronounce. And whenever I had the opportunity to MC that event this past year, and whenever I'd read the name, I sat down next to the chief and I said, "Sir, did I get that right?" And he goes, "You did okay." And I was so nervous about messing that up. But they were there. They gave away $100 yesterday. Somebody had won that. It was like $100 casino money. And I said, "Man, that's a great prize because you could turn that around maybe 10 times."
Yeah, you could double that or really lose your butt. One of the two.
Have you been out there before?
No,
I've never been out there. I don't know what it.
I'm not my everyday life is a gamble, so I don't need to go anywhere. But now I know people that go, and they claim that's one of the nicest places to go. So
what do they have out there? Do you know? Do they have slot machine? Do they have the regular thing? I have no idea what they have out there.
I don't know. I play left, right, center. So I mean that's how I win and lose it.
Red or black for me.
Yeah,
That's it. You know, you got a 50 chance, and that's it. So, well, they're good folks. So they're always active in the community, just like you guys are. I mean, there was a lot of vendors there, probably 30 tables.
Yeah,
at
that
least.
was a pretty good show yesterday.
And I'm going to tell you something. The door prizes. If you want to win a door prize, you need to go to the Lions Club when they have these type of events, because I think they gave away 40 or 50 things. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
a lot. It was a lot, yeah.
And I told you, I had 100% confidence in that 75-inch TV. I felt like, man, this TV is coming. I just felt, you know how sometimes you feel like every fiber in your body tells you that you're going to get something or that something's going to happen? Mm-hmm. I just knew that I was going to win that 75-inch TV. And I told you that, remember?
Yeah, this man, they were doing raffle tickets.
Did I win it? No.
And every time they didn't call his number, he was getting excited. And I'm thinking, this old boy I guess up there in Georgetown, they don't know how raffles work. And then he was like, no, man, every time they call a number and I don't get it, that just means I'm that much more in the running for the television. I'm like, oh, well, I guess he's right.
I had 11 tickets, man. I thought I had a great shot. And then all of a sudden they call, and, you know, they do like 662. The first three, everybody has that.
Yeah.
So they get you all excited. Yes, 662. Well, mines were all in the 800s. And then she goes, 7. And I was like, whatever.
That's it.
And then that was it. And then all of a sudden we hear this, wow, going nuts. And it happens to be our friend Tara Burnett. Who
I like how people were being so reserved and they would win something. They're like, that's me. And they would just walk up there. Not me, man. I win like an oven mitt. I'm screaming and hollering and jumping and, you know.
Well, I can't complain. I won 3 prizes.
You did. You got a purse.
Well, no, it was. You know what? The Bath and Body Works. It was actually masculine Bath and Body Works.
Still a purse.
And I joked around with
Billy. I don't
Billy.
care if you wear it across your body. It's still a purse.
It's a merce.
Yeah,
it's got the thing that goes across. Well,
I have a merce.
Do you wear it?
No, it's a plastic bag from Dollar General. When I'm going somewhere I don't have pockets, I just throw my wallet and stuff in that Dollar General bag, and away we go.
Well, the long story short on this was, remember I was joking with you, and I said, man, I think there's some bourbon in here. I don't know if I can.
He did. God, he said, I think there's a bottle of bourbon in here.
I did not look in that bag, just FYI. And I said, I really hope not, because I wasn't going to do anything with it. But I said, I bet you anything. Because you know how some of these things you go to, and it's like the white elephant you go to with that certain member of the family, that certain side of the family, and that's all they have is vodka and all that. And they're like, what am I going to do with all this, you know? Well, so yesterday I thought for sure. I got that bag, and I said, they've put some sort of beverage in here. And I told you, I said, it's bourbon. Remember I said that?
He did.
I swear you not. I opened up that thing, and guess what kind of Bed Bath & Body Works it was for men? Bourbon.
Bourbon scented bath wash.
Bourbon soap, bourbon body spray. And does that smell like an old...
You know, and Noah must have been in on that, because you said that, and he turned around and gave the biggest smile I ever seen.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sitting there wondering, bourbon body spray, is that like, you know, growing up, you go to the VFW canteen and there's that musty smell of beverages that have poured out 20 years ago? Is that what the bourbon
I don't
body
know,
spray
man.
smells like?
I don't think I would spray that on me than operate a motor vehicle.
So, anyways, in all of this fun chat, it was a great event. Big shout out to Julie Hill. We had her on the show yesterday. But they said they had a much better turnout than last year, too. And there's a lot of folks there.
The people that didn't come, you missed out, because it was nice. There was a lot of, what do you call that, swag?
Yeah, a lot of swag that were given away.
Even the funeral home had a table full of it.
Yeah. I gave away a bunch of stuff. You know, you go to those events and you're looking for somebody, and then I look over, I was like, yes, Billy's here. And then I made a beeline right over there, man.
I was there.
I posted up on the wall, and I felt kind of cool for a few minutes, Billy.
Yeah,
So
it's
thank
kind of
you.
like the whole Dazed and Confused thing when they're outside the Emporium.
Yes,
yeah,
that's how I felt. All
Got
right.
that 1 foot up on the wall.
Yeah, that's what we had in high school. The wall behind us. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
I always hung out with the upperclassmen, and then when a senior, I went and ate lunch every day with Mary McKenna. Now you may think, oh, Mary McKenna. Well, Mary McKenna was the nurse. Okay, so I ate lunch every day with Miss McKenna, the school nurse, and I still talk to her to this day. You know, it was just the teacher that made a difference in your life, and I didn't have
trying to get your temperature checked.
No, what I was trying to get is that great. She always had that refrigerator loaded up, and it was for kids that needed sugar because of medical problems. So she always had apple juice and grape juice and orange juice loaded up in that fridge. But she let me come in there and drink all the grape juice I wanted. So I was always in there. I took naps and drank grape juice and that. And she goes, "Rob, I know you're not sick." And I said,
My tummy.
but she would hook it up. Well, the story was, so I didn't really have I didn't have a lot of friends in high school, but I hung out with some upperclassmen because they made me feel, they were just nice guys. And I remember the guy to this day, Billy Clicata. He was a very nice guy, really, really good dude.
Well, anybody named Billy, you're just automatically in a different realm.
Didn't even think about it. Well, there was this brick wall. We called it the Commons, which was the cafeteria. And it was kind of lower. The cafeteria set down kind of low, and then the Commons area was the outside area where you could walk around was higher. So think of a big room, lower area, all indoors, of course. There was a brick wall, and there was three of us. It was Billy Clicata, me, and David Gibson. And we would stand at that wall in the morning and put one foot on that brick. Well, the reason that I mention this is whenever you'd walk away, that little area was dirty right there where our feet were. So as you'd walk by, that's where we stood every single morning.
Did I ever tell you my first day of high school? I know these ladies want to get on the air.
Yeah,
and
they do.
I didn't get to. I was working. I didn't get to go to freshman orientation. So I show up for the first day of high school, and it's like, I don't know, a cattle processing plant. I mean, there's just people running everywhere, and they're like, are you a freshman? I'm like, yeah. They're like, report to the Commons. What the hell's a Commons? Yeah. And then finally I found out that was like the cafeteria. I'm like, why did they just call it a cafeteria? I'm so lost and scared at this point because I don't know what a Commons is.
You think it's some bad place. Report to the Commons.
I mean, I don't know what that is. Is that, is that an auditorium?
I have no idea.
I didn't know,
It's the common area that people meet.
Well, why couldn't they have said that?
Exactly, yeah.
It was scaring me.
Well, hey, we're going to take a break. We've got a great show continuing on. As always, big thank you to Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. It's our family's serving years since 2002. It's hometown traditions, hometown values. Again, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Get your pre-planning done. You can do that online at SHMFH.com. We'll take a brief break, and we'll have our guest from 4-H joining us here in just a few moments. This is your show here on a very, very faithful Friday. Thanks for being with us. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope. Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
All right, friends, welcome back as we continue on this morning. A faithful Friday. Time now is 8:14, and thanks to everybody for joining us as we wrap up another great week here in Huntsville, Texas. Quick look at your weather this morning. Coming in, a little bit of fog out there, but not too bad. Today, 84 degrees, 50% chance of thunderstorms. Some could be severe, 66 and cloudy tonight. But we are set up for a beautiful weekend, 85 and sunny on Saturday. Had some friends from Austin. I grew up near that area, and boy, they had a horrible storm come through on Wednesday. In 15 minutes, 2.5 inches of rain fell, and unfortunately, one person lost their life there. There was about 40,000 people without power, and there were winds that were reported. They call it microbursts. They came through downtown in the metro area of close to 90 miles an hour. Ton of damage in Austin. I had no idea about that. And so if any of you are from that area, I know many of you join the show from all over, but hope that everything is okay this morning. Well, hey, our friends from 4-H here today. Christine Tietzman joining us this morning. She is let me see if I can get the director. Nope, the extension officer of 4-H. I knew it. I had all these words in my mind. And
County extension agent.
I was way off. County extension agent for 4-H. And Denise Winston joining us again this morning. Good to see you, Denise. It's always good to have y'all on. And sorry about this morning. You've been on the show before. When it's Monday through Thursday, Miss Molly's here. And so folks sometimes come through that door. And that door was locked, and I said, I bet you anything that black car out there was Denise. So sorry to keep y'all waiting this morning.
No, that's
so, okay. Well, good to see you. Well, Denise, we'll catch up with you in a moment. I know Christy's your first. It's Chris.
It is. Christy.
Man, my brain is. Christy's with us today. Christy, we just want to get to know you for a little bit. So let us know a little bit about you and kind of your journey here to this area, and let us know kind of how you transitioned into the role that you're in now with 4-H. I think it's great.
So my name is Christy Tietzman. I've actually been here since 2009. Been working in the same position, County Extension Agent for 4-H Youth Development. I grew up a little east of here over in Sabine County, Hemp Hill, Texas. Attended college at Texas A&M University, bachelor's and master's. And then I went over to Louisiana Extension for a few years before I came back to Texas.
Awesome. And so the journey for you, what has it been like? I mean, how did you connect to the role that you're doing now, school, education, those kind of, maybe somebody's watching this morning saying, hey, I'd like to get into that role. How did you get there?
So I want to say I grew up in it, but I didn't completely grow up in it. I wasn't actually a 4-H member when I was very, very small, but our county was strong with a horse program, and that was pretty much all we had. So I did get started, I guess, got my feet wet with that program, but I moved into showing some livestock and through the FFA program, and that's where I really got to know more of what extension was, what 4-H was, and I thought that would be a better fit for, it fit my lifestyle, it fit the things that I enjoyed. So I have an animal science degree from Texas A&M University, and then I went and got a master's in ag education.
Yeah, that's awesome. We have so many folks on this show that have went through A&M for these type of things, and obviously that's what A&M is about, and such a wonderful school just an hour away, and we get to see the connection yet here again, and with you, Christy, just a phenomenal job that you're doing. What have you seen over these years, in your role and working as the agent? What are some things that you've seen, some positive things, a lot going on that's been really good?
Oh, lots of positive things, yeah. So I do think that when people think of the 4-H program, they think of our livestock projects. They think of those traditional things, maybe our food, our baking, our livestock, but 4-H is so much more. And I think those are avenues that we use to get kids into the program. And then we expand them into all of these other things that they can be doing, such as, we have robotics. Mm-hmm. There's a whole STEM program that they can be involved in. There's help me out here, Denise. I get put on the spot and I start forgetting all of the things that we have. All of our programs are going to have some type of community service and leadership aspect that the kids are involved in.
Well, I love that summer's here, and Denise, I think it was about this time last year, maybe we were talking about some of these day camps and things that are going on. Summer's here, great opportunity for young people to get involved, and just all different types of opportunities this summer. And I know we wanted to highlight some of that, and it's crazy. I think it was almost a year ago that we were talking about this, Denise, because your journey now. You've been with 4-H for a little over a year now.
Yeah, just at a year now.
That's great.
My kids did 4-H a little bit, but I didn't know about all of the other programs at the time. But since I've been working at the extension office, there's just so much for the students to be involved in. It's from kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade, and so.
Well, these camps already about to kick off, right? So there's a lot of day camps, and wanted y'all to mention maybe some of the opportunities and how maybe there's a parent or a grandparent that's taking care of some kiddos this summer. Let them know how they can get connected and get them out of the house and get them doing productive things this summer.
Yeah, so we have 8 day camps that we're offering this summer throughout June and July, and then August 1st will be our last one. So our first ones in June are our Kids in the Kitchen camps, and so we'll offer 3 days worth of camps. Each day will have a different theme. And those spots are filling fast. One of those days only has 8 spots left.
Wow.
So the others have 12 or so. You'll have a choice of cookie and cake decorating, bread and healthy snacks, or our food challenge. And food challenge is kind of like Chop Junior. So if you think of Chop Junior, the kids will get to go in, they'll have a pantry of items, and we'll give them a surprise item, and they'll work in teams to create different dishes. And those camps, all of our day camps include lunch and snacks. And so that's a really great price for what the kids are getting. Also an introduction into 4-H. They don't have to currently be 4-H members to participate in the camps.
Yeah, I think that's so important too. We definitely want to make sure folks know that you don't have to be heavily involved. You can come to these day camps. As Denise said, there's 7 of them going on. Kids in the Kitchen, those are happening. Wildlife Challenge, first aid and CPR certification, photography, and line dancing, archery and rifle. I mean, there's something for everybody. And I was joking with you last year. I said, how can adults get involved in some of these camps?
So that's funny because I've had a few adults, Deanna or and a few others have commented, hey, I want to do that class. And so I told our new FCH agent, hey, you might want to think of some of these for, adult classes because there's interest out there.
I like this. And the Wildlife Challenge too. Check this out. Skins, tracks, trees, bugs, fish, and more. This is students, and these are all designed for students that have finished. A lot of them are K through 12, but then some of the others are 7 through 12, which is the first aid, CPR, and then the archery and rifle. It's only grades 3 through 12. My niece did the archery and rifle up in South Dakota, and she loved it. It was really cool. So,
well, if your child hasn't been around archery or rifle and something that they might be interested in, this is a safe place to come and try it, and get introduced to it.
It's funny, I just mentioned that, and I promise I didn't see the comment, and my sister just messaged me and said, Zoe did archery in 4-H. That's exactly what we were talking about, yeah. Well, these programs are so important, and Christy, maybe I'll kind of let you take a little bit of the lead on this one. Just talk about the impact that 4-H has in a community, because there are so many opportunities for young people to get involved and to learn and to grow. Maybe highlight a little bit about how 4-H is really helping out the local community.
So I wish I would have brought my one pager with all of the data that I could actually show you. So they do nationwide surveys of alumni of the 4-H program, and it's a huge difference. They followed a whole group of kids through 3rd through 12th grade, and then non 4-H members the same way, the same time frame. And kids that were in 4-H it's something like 78% more likely to give back to their communities as adults, as volunteers in all different organizations, not just the 4-H program. They're also in more science-based fields of work. So careers when they get out, it's like a twofold, threefold type thing. Like I say, I wish I would have brought my exact numbers that I could have given you. But the leadership that they get from the program makes them, it gives them the life skills and the decision-making skills to make positive decisions as they get older and go into adulthood.
I think about as a youth, I wish that I would have been able to be involved in some 4-H programs, just getting to know Denise over the last, I've known Denise for several years, but with the 4-H program over the last year, it's, you think about children. I've got 2 little ones. My little Braylon's almost 4, Caden's almost 2 now, and I want to get my children involved because the more you expose them to these kind of things, it just stimulates their minds, and it creates this creative spark that says, I didn't know that existed. And you never know where one of these children, especially attending a day, and what a great way to get started in 4-H, go to one of the day camps and get involved. But with the robotics and the cooking, there's going to be something that these children are going to learn that could spark a career down the road. You never know what impact that's going to have.
Absolutely.
Denise, your connection with youth and children goes very far back. You have your own children. Maybe highlight a little bit about just what you see in 4-H and the difference it's making in young people's lives.
Well, I don't focus on, but my main club that I help with is our Clover Kids, which is our kindergarten through second graders. And at the end of our last meeting, I asked them, what was your favorite thing that we did? And it was really neat to see. Some of them really liked our density, and STEM day that we had. One of them really liked the last time, which was cooking. And one of them really liked the egg to chick thing that we did. So just, out of all of the kids, they all had something different to say. It wasn't like one activity really stood out to all of them. And so just being able to reach all of those at one time and get their interest going. And, I said, oh, well, what do you want to do next year? And then we want to do dogs, or we want to, and, we do, like I said last time, we have a dog club, learn to train your dog. Almost everybody has a dog, right? And so you don't have to raise a cow. You don't have to have a horse. You don't have to have pigs in your backyard. We have photography, which our photography grew tremendously this year after we had some day camp.
I remember you telling me that was one of the first ones that filled up like right away with the photography stuff.
And then we had double the entries into our county contest this year after that. And so you never know what's going to spark their interest. They may not have even known that they would have had that with their cell phone. They can just need their cell phone now to take a picture.
Yeah.
They don't have to have the big cameras.
When I think, too, when I was growing up, I always thought of 4-H as ag, just strictly ag. And that's the message that I want to help get out there is it's not just strictly agriculture. There are many other avenues.
There's public speaking. We have kids going to State Roundup next week, and they're not doing ag at all. They're doing so many other things. They're doing quiz bowls. They're participating in public speaking. They're doing healthy lifestyles contests. There's so many things that they're participating in that don't have anything to do with livestock.
That's great. Well, the 4-H, support your local 4-H, and the best way to support is get out there, get your young people involved, your children. But is there ever any, and I may have asked this last time, Denise, and Chrissy, you can piggyback on this too, but is there any opportunities for parents or for adults to come and be involved and to help out with any of these programs?
Always. So we have, here in Walker County, we have 23, 24 clubs, depending on the volunteer. And there's always time, always place to make new clubs with new projects. So here in Walker County, all of our clubs are project-based, which is a little different than other counties, even in the state of Texas, to where they're community-based. So whatever community you live in, you might have, we might have a Riverside and a New Waverly or a couple in Huntsville type thing, to where ours are all based around the 4-H project. So rifle, shotgun, archery, beef, poultry, horse, you get the picture.
Yeah.
And so there's always places where you can take whatever skill it is that as an adult you enjoy, and you can share that with kids. So just because we don't have the club now doesn't mean that we can't.
So if there's someone out there that says, hey, I've got this idea, maybe I want to do an electronics club doing this, that they could just approach you guys, and then that kind of starts that discussion,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah,
Wow,
we had some students that were like, we want to fish, we can't. So we're like, well, 4-H has sport fishing projects, so let's start sports fishing. And so we started sports fishing this spring. And that was a pretty good size, handful of kids that came twice a month to do that. And they're going to do some little, competitions, and they're doing some virtual fishing competitions. Yeah. And we've had kids that have won through that. And so, if you have an idea or there's something that your child wants to do, call us up at the 4-H office and let us know, and we'd be happy to get you involved.
I'm already thinking like broadcasting club. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
There is, yeah.
There is a curriculum for that through the 4-H program.
Yeah.
Cool.
There
So
really
see, there
is.
you go. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm sitting here I'm thinking about like one day this is why I still stay involved in a little bit of sports broadcasting. Nothing like I used to do at the collegiate level, but I've always dreamed of like my children coming and hanging out with me while I broadcast a game. All my colleagues in the industry, it's neat to see buddy of mine, Jeff Colhane's the voice of Florida State now, and it's neat to see him up there and his children in the booth with him. And I was like, man, I want that for my kids one day. And so, introduce them to 4-H, get them involved, and you never know what clubs are out there that your kids can be a part of and really grow and succeed.
Well,
So,
yeah, that will lead to a career, or I was reading the top 10 best work-life balance careers, and you never know unless you try it when you're young. You never know where that might go.
Happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking about all of us, and Chrissy with you, all of us have somebody or something that kind of got our interest into things. I know you talked a little bit about just going to A&M, but was there a person? Was there something that you did? Was there somebody that said, man, and then boom, all of a sudden this happened?
I don't think there was one person. I think it was a combination of a lot of things. So as a kid, I was involved in, church youth group and then clubs at school where you had your teachers. And then my ag teacher, my FFA leader was always a positive impact in my life and guiding me, towards the right direction, I suppose, kind of a thing. And I think it was just I like teaching. I like education, right? And I think it kind of comes natural, learning a subject, teaching it to someone else, right? But I don't know that I'd want to be in a classroom every day, right?
Yeah.
So this extension, working with 4-H, extension in general, lets me do that informal education. And you're teaching people that want to learn whatever the subject matter is that you're at. So I think it was just kind of a combination of a little bit of everything.
Well, it's cool. That's why I always say it's so important to get out and just meet people and just, you never know where these conversations turn to. And I sit here and think about this program and, just an opportunity that I had in Georgetown years ago to acquire a platform called Hello Georgetown. And that is what ultimately led to when we moved here. And then, God had different plans on my broadcasting journey. And we were up in North Dakota. And then we said, we got to come back to Huntsville because we miss everybody. It's kind of hard. Huntsville's this area and this whole area of East Texas that it's such good people that once you get here and you leave because you think there's this great opportunity, which it was up in Fargo, but you're like, man, I really miss my people. That was my family down there in East Texas, and you just never know, though, what discussions are going to lead you to where you are. And I think about those things, and as we sit here today, each one of us has had influences in our life, and I want nothing more than for my children and for all children to also have that same experience of you know what, they got introduced to something that has now led to this. And I think that's so neat. And that's really huge in what 4-H does, is introducing children, expanding their minds. I forgot, I had to look it up because I used to have it memorized, but head, heart, hands, and health is what the 4-H's stand for. Some people are wondering, what does the 4-H stand for? Well, that's it. That encompasses everything. Your head, what you think, right? Your heart, your hands, and your health. You take care of those 4 things, you're going to be all right. So... Well, Denise, I appreciate you coming on again. Is there anything else that maybe you wanted to highlight? I know we talked about the camps, but I know there's so much going on.
Just one thing. We are taking 19 kids to State Roundup next week in College Station. And so we have a fundraiser today at Mackenzie's Barbecue. Mackenzie's is giving back all day till open to close, and then the kids are going to be outside doing a bake sale, and the bake sale is by donation. There's no prices on anything. You just come, leave a donation, take what you want. So come out for lunch or dinner and support the 4-H kids heading to State Roundup.
And Chrissy, let us know a little bit about the State Roundup. What is that?
Okay, so that is our end of the year conference. So a lot of different kids are participating in different contests. So they work on these project areas all year long, and then there's contests that they would go to. So we have county contests, we have district contests, and then our state contests. And some of them you have to qualify from each level to get to the next level. And so all week long there will be kids doing different workshops. There's vendor fairs, a career fair, college fair. There's community service projects, and there's kids that come from all over the state in order to do these things.
Man,
so it's our big end of the year party.
It's a big wrap up party. So to get everything rolling. Well, hey, Walker County 4-H doing a great job. We appreciate Christy, Denise. Y'all are just doing such wonderful things in our community. And that's what we try to highlight here on this show. And certainly any information that y'all have, send it our way. We'll put it out in our newsletter and put it up on our website as well. But today, Mackenzie's Barbecue, go out there, support it. Kevin and Lisa are such tremendous assets to our community. They give back a lot like so many others, but come on out, be a part of it, and let's support the kids. Or as Kay Boning would say, the children. You're not supposed to say kids.
Yeah, I try to say students.
Yeah.
Because they're not like small children, but I try not to use the word kids, so I try to just say students.
Kay's educated me because kids is the offspring of a goat.
Baby goats, yeah.
But I started thinking, I was like, you know what? Baby goat, that's all right. Goat means greatest of all time. And, so it's not a bad thing. So, well, again, appreciate y'all. Thank you, Christy,
Thanks for having us.
Very nice to meet you as well. Denise, you're always welcome, both of y'all.
Thanks, Rob.
So come on out and support 4-H a little bit later today, all day at McKenzie's Barbecue. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. As always, big thank you. We couldn't have friends like the 4-H on this program if it wasn't for our foundation's support, including Walker County Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Billy and I joke around because there's all different variations of stuff we get tangled up in, but we couldn't do it without Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. More information online at SHMFH.com. We'll take a brief break. We'll be back in a moment as we close it up. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us.
I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is Billy Cawthon of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, and you're listening to Spirit Radio, the spirit of Huntsville.
Braylon, say, this is Spirit Radio.
This is Spirit Radio.
La da da da. Back at it, Billy Cawthon.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Cawthon of the remix. Let's get that fake radio voice this morning.
Let's go.
I can't wait till we get on 94.3. Then we'll be like, you're listening to 94.3.
Hey, I was looking at some old yearbook ads or whatever that somebody was posting online, and KSAM, growing up to me was 1490 AM. But I was noticing even back then they had an FM station, but it was 101.9.
Thunder.
No, that was 101.7 Thunder. I always liked it when it was Thunder because they had like this old van that
Here
had
in
like
Huntsville?
lightning bolts. Yeah, it was Thunder 101.7.
Was it still KSAM?
Yeah. And they had a van that had like the lightning bolts, but it had like a little strip that had all the names of all the different communities that station covered, like Riverside,
like North
Beat Eye.
Huntsville,
yeah,
East
stuff,
Huntsville, Central Huntsville,
something like that. Yeah.
Red light flashing.
Red light flashing.
Still,
red light district. Yeah.
Still not flashing.
I haven't checked.
Oh, I have. Oh, well, good fun, man. Good fun. Enjoyed having Denise and Chrissy. I never met Chrissy before. They do such great work with 4-H and that's hard work too. That's not easy work. Rounding up these programs. As a father too, you're involved with scouting and those type of things. It's not easy work. None of that kind of stuff is, man. I'm trying to think. Is there any work that's out there that is easy? I guess if you're an actuary, my cousin wanted to be an actuary because he said that it's a lot of mental knowledge, but he goes, it's pretty laid back, simple work if you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You ever heard of that, an actuary?
No.
Yeah, it's where I think they're the ones that are responsible for like formulating, say an insurance company, you go and do a project, like you build a skyscraper, right? Well, an actuary determines the potential cost of insurance for that. Well, what are some of the risks that the insurance company would take and those kind of things? So whenever they build a building, they get insurance on the building of that building, and they'll literally forecast. Okay, well, based on these conditions and where this is and the length and the scope of the work and blah blah blah, we estimate that 4 people are going to lose their life on this project. They build that into these estimates, the insurance companies.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy, but if I may be totally wrong with what an actuary does.
I want to be a professional mailbox money recipient.
That would be good.
Just go check that mailbox.
Look, I got to figure this out now because I may be totally wrong. Let's see. Let me just double check this. Yeah, that's it. Actuaries analyze the financial costs of risk and uncertainty. So that's what they do. They use mathematics, statistics, and
I do that all the time.
theory.
Every time I break something, I go, damn, it's going to cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, you're an actuary.
I didn't know there was a title for that.
But yeah, they help businesses and clients.
I thought it was a Debbie Downer.
No, you're an actuary, buddy. It says actuaries' work is essential to the insurance industry. So if you want to, I guess actually it's a hard job because they're gonna have to deal with people wondering why the insurance costs are rising. So it's those doggone actuaries, man, out there. They're calculating too much risk. Chill out on the risk. Take a chill pill.
Yeah, you need to get a good actuary in your corner.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a good actuary because let's just go for it and worry about it later. That's my attitude. Just do it and worry about it later, man. Billy, I know you got a lot going on today, so probably no lunch bunch, huh? Is that still up?
I don't think so.
No lunch bunch today, buddy.
Sorry, y'all know I'm being disappointing, but
it's been like a month in a row. That's good though. I've lost about 4 pounds, buddy. I really have. In the last 2 weeks, I've lost 4 pounds.
I've been trying.
It's all that stuff really is. It's self-discipline. It really is, and I don't have any self-discipline. It really is, and I know that there's medical things and psychological and all that, but it really boils down to self-discipline. Like yesterday, did I have to eat that cake at that event? No, but I wanted to, and I ate it.
I didn't have any cake, so I was able to have a Mickey Mouse ice cream bar when I got home.
You did. You had good self-discipline. Yeah. Remember, I even offered. I said, "Hey, you want a slice of cake?" And you said, "No, I'm trying. I don't want that."
Yeah.
And you know what I did? Right? One of the prizes I won was a McDonald's value meal. I went to use that, and they looked at it like, "What is this?" Because it looked like you printed it off of a home printer. And on the graphic, Billy, it was all fuzzy, and it said "see reverse side" for terms and conditions. There was no reverse side.
Oh, my goodness.
So I go over to the Sam Houston McDonald's over there off Sam Houston, and the manager, the drive-through guys looking at the kids looking at me like, "What is this?" And then the manager, he goes, "Well, I don't know what this is, but we'll go ahead and honor it."
Yeah.
And I told him what it was.
Well, that's where they came from, was the Sam Houston.
It was, but it didn't look like a legitimate. It looked like something you printed up at home. I was like, man, I'm going to go make some copies of this
Yeah,
thing.
no joke. Be like, you're going to take this one because I got 25 more at home.
But they did give me some. I did get some, walking out, Miss Spear, Noah's wife, very sweet lady. She had some cards. McDonald's cards. Now those cards were official. They had like a little, what do you call it? Like a hologram on the back with the McDonald's logo. I was like, man, I don't even want to use these. They look so legit.
They probably spent more on making the cards than the meals were.
That's why did you hear the news about pennies?
That they're doing away with
They're
pennies.
doing-
I'm not very smart. Y'all know that at this point, but I just don't see how you can do away with pennies.
I think I think everybody's gonna have to round up or something on the prices now.
I'm not rounding up.
I'd round down.
Round down.
What it should be.
You know, you're always wanting me to round up for kids' education, but I ain't never heard of the HISD getting a check off any of that stuff.
Yeah, you got to round.
You know what I'm talking about? Like you go to Taco Bell. Would you like to round up to the nearest dollar for the kids' education? And you're thinking, if I don't say no, they're going to spit in my food. So yeah, sure.
I tell them no.
But you know, I guess I need to get with Paul Brown over at. He's the chief financial guy for the school district. But
ask if he's getting any
say,
checks.
hey
from
man,
Taco
are we
Bell.
getting a check? How's our Taco Bell check looking? You know, I mean, you know,
You need to walk in and say that exact phrase.
I got it. I'll just call him on the phone and he'll laugh at me and hang up.
Well, Billy, it was on this date in 1431. Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was burned at the stake.
Oh no!
Yeah, well done, by the way. Or she was served a burned steak. One of those is the talk this morning. Finally, 1848, the ice cream freezer was invented. Now, wait a minute. The ice cream freezer. Wouldn't a freezer freeze anything? Why does it specifically have to be an ice cream freezer?
Maybe it was like what they have at Baskin-Robbins where it only holds the ice cream.
But you can put anything in that. You get what I'm saying? Isn't it just a box?
Well, you don't want to freeze ice cream. You want to keep it right at freezing. You want it to where you can still serve it.
Oh, well, it's yes.
You know how when you grab the Bluebell out of the deep freezer after you've already got some out of it, and then now you're thinking about popping it in the microwave to soften it up?
Yeah, I do that.
They can't do that with the...
So the ice cream freezer, okay, it says it proved much more popular than the ice cream oven, by the way. This is bad.
Thank you for joining us. We can't be strong enough on our own to make it on our own.
I guess, is it because, does the freezer, how does it work, though? How does it keep I guess because it keeps the ice cream soft, is that why?
Yeah, I guess it keeps it just a little below freezing or whatever.
Or do you think it goes above and does it fluctuate? Like it rises above, goes below? I don't understand how it works.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, it was 1848. Someone invented it, so good for them. 1914, California's Mount Lassen volcano erupted. I didn't know there was a volcano that erupted there in California. No, Mount St. Helens up in Washington, but don't know of a California volcano. It was 1922, Billy. The Lincoln Memorial was dedicated in Washington, D.C. That was Chief Justice William Howard Taft who ushered in those famous words, "Ugh, I thought he was supposed to be standing." You know,
for real?
He's sitting down, yeah. And then check this out, buddy. How about this? This don't even seem right.
A lot of it don't seem right.
1981.
I remember that.
The compact disc standard officially adopted. Thus, the CD was born. But we didn't have no CD players until the 90s. That was too expensive back then in the 80s to have one. And do you remember your first CD player? Do you remember the first time you had a CD player?
I believe so.
I remember mine. And that thing...
I remember my first CD.
What was your first CD?
My first CD actually came in a 12-pack of Coca-Cola. And it was like the Coke's Most Refreshing Hits or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. And then I bought a CD at a CD place in the Woodlands Mall. It was Dr. Demento.
Huh.
Yeah.
My first CD player, my brother had given me this unit. It was as big as one of those shelves over there. And all it played was one CD.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing was literally probably 2.5 feet wide and about a foot deep. It was this huge device. And then this little tray came out, and then there was a little screen on it, and that was it.
I worked with a guy when I was a kid working at Overhead Door. There was a guy named Dwayne Rumley. He was a family friend of ours. He worked there as well. He's, 5 or 6 years older than me. But in his truck, he had a CD player, but it was like an additional box, almost like a CB radio or something, that was bolted under his dash. Like it wasn't built into the radio. It was like a standalone thing.
And it would probably skip every bump you hit. Remember that?
I don't know. He had a Eagles CD, and he would always leave his truck unlocked. So when I was working in the shop, I'd like open up his door and put that CD. He had a really good sound system, so I'd be like jamming out while I was in there working, with the courtesy of his
bulky CD player.
Yeah.
I remember my first, I had an old Jeep Cherokee. Loved that vehicle, man. Got totaled at a 4-way stop of all places. But I didn't realize it until later on. That thing had a CD, I forget what you call it, but it could hold like a CD exchanger or whatever.
Changer,
yeah.
Changer.
That thing had like 15 slots, but you had to go to the back and lift up where the tire was, and then you'd load all your CDs in there, and then you could flip the CDs that way.
I put a 5-disc CD changer in my truck in high school. Got it at the Walmart.
You were feeling pretty good.
Oh, I was cool for a couple of weeks, and then like anything that comes from Walmart, it started malfunctioning.
Well, a couple of last things. Today is World Multiple Sclerosis Day. That's a tough illness that affects so many people. National Creativity Day today.
National Nap Day. I need one of those.
Well, it's National Hole in My Bucket Day. I don't know.
No, I got plenty of holes in my bucket.
Hey, and you know what else, Billy? It's National Water a Flower today. Who comes up with this stuff?
I don't know.
You want to go water a flower? Not really. I got a few up front.
When I finish drinking his coffee, I might.
So there you go. That's what it is today. Winona Judd, 61 years old today. I used to be in that singing group with her mom, but I can't remember the name.
My mama loved the Judges.
They were good.
Judds.
Water the Flower Day, by the way. It's the time of the year our flower garden should be in full bloom. So you make sure to keep them hydrated. Not just one of them. Not water a flower, but
yeah,
water
don't
all.
pick your favorite. Just give everyone equal opportunity.
Water all of your flowers today. A couple things you need to know, by the way. A new study finds that our partying lifestyle, do you have a partying lifestyle, Billy? Are you party goer still?
No.
Well, if you're between the ages of
if you call sitting in your recliner watching cops partying, yeah,
eating Whataburger in your Fruit of the Looms,
yeah, buddy, yeah. I ain't know how to party.
Well, if you are a party lifestyle between 36 and 46, well, it's going to have a major impact on your future health. Well, obviously, researchers in Finland have found that there are relatively few consequences. This is not good. Relatively few consequences to folks that drink heavily and smoke in their 20s, but those who continued these habits found their health to begin to deteriorate at 36. Over the course of their lifetime, they were found to result in a plethora of health problems, including higher rates of depression, cancer, heart disease, lung disease, and early death. Well, go figure.
So heavy drinking and smoking is bad for you?
Yeah, well, I think we've already known
Wow,
this.
I thought we established that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, no joke, man. This is, I'm just looking through here. I didn't have a chance to look at this. The newest flavor of Twix. How did they, I guess they have the caramel Twix and the regular one. Is that it?
I didn't know there was.
Oh, they have cookies and cream Twix. I've had that before. Have you had that one?
Okay, you know how this whole left Twix, right Twix thing or whatever?
Is that still going on?
I don't know, but I thought that was such BS. But there was a young man who's in my scouting program. I may or may not drop his name. He's an Eagle Scout now. I think he's fitting to be a college graduate. Great kid. Mama's awesome. All that stuff.
First name?
Will. We were at a deal, and he was talking about how he could tell the difference, and I called BS. I totally, dude, you're so full of it. And we just so happened to be at the university at Sam for the chamber gala or something. We were doing like the opening flags or something. But I went and bought a bunch of Twix out of the machine, like the lefts and the rights or whatever. And I'll be damned, that boy could tell you the difference.
Really?
He could. And I even tried.
There is no left and right.
There is a difference. I swear to goodness.
So in the wrapper, there's two. One of them really is left, and one's right.
Yeah, and you can actually buy them to where or you can buy just a left or just a right.
No, I call that too.
Yeah, I did too.
That's a marketing scam.
I swear to goodness, I did too. There's a difference. I think the left one's got like more caramel, and the right one's got more chocolate or something.
It's a marketing scam.
I swear to goodness, you might have to watch some videos or something on it.
We need to get Will on this show to break this down.
I don't know if he wants to come back to Huntsville.
Well, the newest flavor of Twix, by the way, Snickerdoodle has come out. Snickerdoodle Twix now.
I'll snicker your doodle.
Yeah, Snickerdoodle, the new one here.
I'm walking off.
Where are you going? I told Billy a while ago, I said, have you ever had to talk on this show, with like congestion? But what was yours? Was it coffee?
I don't know, man, but apparently my nose is a track star or something because it's running.
Billy's like, Sorry if the snickerdoodle offended you, man.
I don't snickerdoodle with nobody, okay? I'm a married man.
Wow. Elon Musk, by the way. Have you heard the news of Elon?
It's got the crazy last name, Musk.
Well, he says that his time in the Trump administration has come to an end.
Oh, okay.
That didn't last very long. I guess because that Tesla stock kept tumbling, so it's time to get back to work. So Elon Musk no longer.
I would love
there
to
with
talk
the
to
press.
Elon Musk. You know, they have that charging station at the motel behind the funeral home.
Yes.
Well, I guess the maps that those little smart golf cart cars use tells them to come in my driveway to get to the charging station.
Oh, so you just see him.
So I got all these
there.
little Jetson cars out there going circling around the drive. You can't figure it out. It's like, dude, you can see the charger, and you can tell you can't get there from here. Why are you circling my driveway?
Was it self-driving? As they come in.
No, it's normally people that ain't from around here.
Yeah, because they're trying to charge in between wherever they're going.
How come that, you remember when you had the bicycle and you had like the little generator on the tire?
Yes, that made the light go up. And all
How
that?
come they don't do that with those cars? How come they don't set them up to where they charge themselves as they're driving?
No idea. Well, eventually, because there's some law about the power you put in doesn't equal the power coming out.
Oh, I get that.
And
But
so over
wouldn't that
time,
help?
it would-
Yeah, at least offset it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where you don't have to be out there doing electric donuts in my parking lot.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I mean, honest to God, if y'all get bored someday, bring a lawn chair, come to the funeral home, just sit out back, and we can sit together and laugh at all the people that get lost in a one-way in, one-way out parking lot.
Just set some lawn chairs up and talk about it.
Yeah. We'll get
man.
some Dr. Peppers and stuff and some Doritos. It'll be a great time.
One thing, utility bills, that's never a fun discussion.
Yeah, we get some of those.
Never a fun discussion. But here's a couple of ways. I want to leave you with this weekend, all right, for this weekend, to tweak your utility bills, okay? Here's a couple of daily habits that you can tweak. No one ever does this stuff. It's just fun to talk about. No one will ever go through with it. Adjust your default water heater temperature. Never thought of that one. You ever think about that? You can adjust
Yeah, turn it down, and as soon as you get in the shower, you'll regret that.
Well, it says right here, your water heater can use up to 15% of your home's energy. To save money, reduce the 140-degree default setting to 120 degrees. Now, that makes sense because
your hot water heater's not supposed to go over 125.
Is it really not?
I don't think so.
Well, it makes sense because you don't ever take a shower when it's all the way on hot, do you?
I don't, but I think my wife does.
Well,
we actually have ours. Ours is electric, and we have a timer on ours.
Really? What does the timer do?
It comes on at like 4 in the morning, and then goes off at 8, and then I think it comes back on at 4 in the evening and goes off at like 10 o'clock at night.
So y'all already have some energy.
Yeah, because there's no sense of that thing sitting there running all day.
No.
And then our hot water heater, we have like a thermal blanket wrapped around it, kind of like a koozie, I guess, ultimately, if you will. So, there's no sense of you keeping that thing warm all day when there's nobody there.
Well, I think the same goes through with your refrigerator because we have I bought a Kenmore refrigerator. No, it was Whirlpool refrigerator. I bought that thing at Home Depot. It was my first refrigerator. I felt so great when I bought my house years ago. The first thing I did, I actually walked out of that closing with a check. Because one of the windows was kind of broke. But I said, if she'll write me a check for X amount of money, then I'll buy this house. Well, she did. Wrote me a $2,000 check, Billy, when I bought this house. And so instead of fixing the window, I went and bought a new stove and a new refrigerator and a couple other things. That refrigerator is still running. We use it in the garage. That thing is a dinosaur. It won't ever go out. It did die one time, and I figured out if I reach my finger up where there's like a thermostat thing up in the fridge part of it. There's some knob up there, and I started pushing on it. I have no idea what caused it, but as soon as I did that, I heard a click, and it started working again. And it continues to work to this day. I posted a video of me doing that on YouTube, and that video has almost 100,000 views. And everybody was commenting saying, my goodness, this fixed mine too. I have no idea what it is. It's just some hole, and it clicks, and then boom, everything works again. No idea what that is. But the other day, I noticed that thing had been running like crazy, and it finally started to mess up. And I said, no, man, that's kind of losing. Like, I thought I was going to have to get rid of an old friend. And got a little, started getting a little heartbroken. And then I started taking it apart. That's what it looked like on the inside.
Oh, they need to defrost that.
So that bad boy had just completely froze up. And, that's AI, by the way. Look at that. It looks real, almost. Isn't that crazy?
Looks like my neighbor's yard.
But that's what it looked like. That's what my fridge, in the freezer. I learned about how all this works now because the freezer, it comes out, but then it also pushes that air down into your refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was, and I didn't take pictures. That thing was filthy. The whole thing is nasty. It took me literally 4 hours to clean this thing.
That's the one in your garage?
Yes.
Where the bottled water's at?
Yes. Well, now it's completely clean and nice. It looks brand new again. Because there was even parts of this, Billy, where I got Q-tips and cleaned this thing out. That's how detailed I was with it. But it was completely frozen. I had to let it sit overnight, completely thaw out. And guess what? She's back, and she's working better than ever. I learned, don't put that thing on 9 because it runs all the time, and that's what will happen. So I cranked it down to 5. It's been turning off and on, and it's colder than it's ever been.
You know, they also, like, if you don't have a lot of stuff in there, you need to get, like, some gallon jugs with, almost a gallon of water.
Didn't know
and put them in there and let them freeze. And that way it'll help keep the machine cold.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, there you go. That's some very important things. Couple of last things here to save on your utilities. Find a better bulb. LED lights are the thing now. You got to get them anyways eventually.
I replace more LED bulbs than I do regular bulbs. Like at the funeral home, I'm like, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to convert everything over
to a 10-year bulb.
Yeah, 10-year my butt.
Or 10 days and you're replacing it.
Well, with an LED bulb, I don't know if y'all have ever taken them apart. It's not like just one big LED.
It's a bunch
There's
of them.
a strip of them. Well, if one of those LEDs go out, it renders the whole bulb useless because they're in a series.
Mm-hmm.
So when that first one, third one, whatever, when it goes out, you're dead, Yes, the other LEDs are still good, but they're not going to work.
Because the one in the series went out.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, Billy. See, the things you learn on this show. So, LED bulbs.
But you can't buy the old incandescents anymore. I can't find them.
You can't. You can buy them only. They're not allowed to. If you had a stock of them, you can still sell them, but they're not manufacturing new ones, is the rule. So, one thing
government oversight is what that is.
Well, you can use a fan. A central air conditioning unit can account for a quarter of your household energy. Using a ceiling fan uses a fraction of that while still lowering humidity and makes the room feel cooler. I'm sorry, but if it's 100 degrees outside, a ceiling fan ain't going to cool down your living room.
It stirs the humidity. It don't remove nothing.
I don't agree with that one. And then the last one here, dry smarter. Don't overstuff your dryer, which can increase drying time. Cleaning the lint filter regularly will boost efficiency.
Could you reread that for the children of the Cawthon household?
Well, can you reread it for the wives of some households? Cleaning the lint filter regularly will boost efficiency.
What? You mean that thing that goes?
Yes.
It has the sweater built into it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know I'm the cleaner of that thing in our household. I have to clean that thing. And our heating element goes out literally like clockwork every 6 months. So when I buy a replacement, I buy 2 because I know that it's going to go out eventually, and then you're stuck without having a dryer. And I bought different brands. I don't know why. They just go out, and it's cheaper for me to keep buying the heating element. Well, the wires started melting, and so now I've bought new wire, and I bought this flexible wire that said it was rated like up to 600 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? The wire works. That wire, I have not had any problems with that wire overheating and melting. So clean out the lint, please.
And don't overload it. Don't overload it. Because if you see the belts that drive those things, they're little bitty like rubber band looking deals. I mean, they're not like a big automotive serpentine belt.
And lastly, Billy, what men are really thinking. You want to read this one? This is what men are really thinking. And we can see if we can agree to this. You got about 2 more minutes here?
Sure.
A Snoopy 34% of men have logged on to their girlfriend's email.
Okay, when you said Snoopy, I was thinking the dog from Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I did too. But it says a Snoopy 34. You know, I did that in high school when I was a senior in high school. So I'm guilty of that. And when I was in high school, my girlfriend gave me her email password. Said, "Here's my email password."
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I was a senior in high school on that one. Majority of men, 59%, reported they would take a male pill. You know what I'm talking about? To control the children. Men would. 59%. Some of these I'm not going to read, obviously. I
wonder why that is that they don't.
Here's a weird one. Look at this one. More men, 39% would rather smell a woman's soap or shampoo on her than perfume. I would rather smell perfume. Wouldn't you?
Hey, you seen that new soap they're advertising that's made out of somebody's bathwater?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's one of those designer, like Dr. Squash or somebody.
Well, they can squash that idea. That's nasty.
Yeah, some singer or somebody, the soap is from her bathwater or something.
Here's one that'll get you in trouble. 75% of men think they wear the pants in the relationship, but 56% of women think they do. Who's right? Yikes. That's a question you don't want to ask.
Yeah, see right here.
Yeah, that's got to be a joke. Dr. Squatch?
Yeah.
Sydney's bathwater. No. Wouldn't. No.
I mean, that's a real soap company.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Squatch is, yeah. But no, I wouldn't. No. There's no way I'd do that.
I get my soap at the Kroger's.
And that's it for the men talk, by the way. So, that's it, buddy. That's all we got today. There's 30 other pages of stuff here that we get to go through every day, but I'm not going through it all. So
yeah, no.
Billy, tell us real quick. I know yesterday, great event. You guys active in the community, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, always giving back. The proceeds for that go to help out the Lions Club, but it's always good to be out in the community, and you guys are always really involved, man.
I just like to get out and see my people, So I got to meet some new friends and hang out with some old ones and watch Rob eat birthday cake.
Yeah, and ask if you wanted some.
How's your diet going, buddy?
No, it was a good event. And friends, I want to encourage you. We mention this all the time. If there's something that you've heard that we mention over and over and over again, maybe it's time to do it. And that's
checking your diabetes.
Yeah, check it often.
Did you see Walter Brimley there yesterday, or did you miss him?
No, I missed him.
He was there.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Is he from Liberty Medical?
No. They're one of the district guys for the Lions Club.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did see him. That was Walter Wilford's brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. But no, I mean this. You hear me talk about get your pre-planning done every single week. How many of you have actually done it? Do it. Get it done. Go do your pre-planning. Go online.
Those of y'all that march in there and say, "Hey, I heard you on Hello Huntsville," or their numbers kind of small.
Yeah, it's very limited. Yeah. So let's do that. Go in, get your pre-planning done. Nobody wants to think about that stuff, but the problem is nobody wants to deal with it if it hasn't been taken care of first. Go and take care of it right now. Save your family the headache and the heartache of things to come that you could take care of right now. It's kind of like having life insurance to protect your family. Get this done.
Humor me. Come in. Let me tell you my little story. It's 2 minutes long. And then let me give you the pre-planning guide. You can sit there and fill it out if you got 5 minutes, or you can take it with you.
And Billy's not trying to. He's not trying to sell you anything.
I ain't trying to sell you. I don't care if you fill the thing out and give it back to me. I don't care if you never do another doggone thing with it. I don't care.
Just come fill it out. Get that done. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. No lunch bunch today. Maybe we'll get that going again next week. I know things have been pretty busy. I've got a busy day as well, and but looking forward.
This time of the year is tough, man. You would think with school being out, but man, life marches on.
We'll keep reminding all of you, please come out next Thursday, Rays of Hope, HEB parking lot. By the way,
that's my mama's birthday.
It is. Well, we're going to tell her happy birthday on Thursday. We are going to do the show live out there, by the way. Jason Bay will be joining me, so we'll still have the show. We're just going to do it live from Rays of Hope at the HEB parking lot. But come out, be a part of that. And by the way, we still have numerous sponsorship opportunities available for hourly sponsors and also swag bags. We're going to give away more than 100 of those bags. Every year I typically give away about 150 to 200. I've ordered 300 of them. But if you've got maybe some material for your business that you'd like to put in those bags, do it. We'd love for you to, because that is a very personal way. When people donate, we hand those bags to people. And so it's a great way to promote your business and advertise.
Because you think about it, when you get one of those swag bags,
you go through everything.
You go through everything in there. As where if you're dropping your business card off at the counter at the steakhouse, ain't nobody looking at that.
No.
But they're going to have to physically, because I know when I get those bags, I dump them out on my bed and I go through and I'm looking at stuff and
Yeah, that's why we do it. So it's
a great return on very small investment, but
it is.
It's there.
So if you'd like to help, that's a way you can sponsor. Another way you can sponsor, too, is an hourly sponsorship. We do have, I said we have a lot of those. We only have a few of those remaining. But you get to come out, hang out with us for an hour. You don't even have to stay the whole hour, but we'll interview you and we'll talk about why it's important for businesses such as yours to be connected to the community and to give back. And so just, again, another great way for you to come out. And the ultimate goal is to support these nonprofits.
Come out and tell us why your eyelash installation business is better than the next.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Please do that. So we do need a few more sponsors, though. We take that money, by the way. We cover our costs. That's already been covered. And then anything over and above that goes back to these nonprofits, along with the food. Billy and I, it's fun every year. That's my favorite thing to do is go deliver those items. Mm-hmm. And we got to do that at Care Center. We got to do it at Good Shepherd Mission, and also over at the Safe House. And that was a lot of fun. Being able. I love just taking cartloads of food over there and dropping off and saying, "Hey, will this help y'all?" And they say, "Absolutely." So come out, mark your calendars, bring items. It's going to be on Thursday of next week, HEB parking lot, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to have hot dogs out there, too. HEB hooking us up with hot dogs.
Hot diggity dogs.
So come on out and be a part of it. Yeah. That'll wrap it up. Michelle Cardenas joining us, saying, I hope you have a great weekend. Miss y'all. You know what Michelle even said yesterday? Can I show you this?
I don't know. She didn't say it to me.
She said it to me. I got to show you this real quick. Let me just show you one thing here that I have to show you, because this just meant the world to me. I got a message from Michelle yesterday, Billy. And I said, Michelle, I hope you're doing great. We miss you here in Huntsville. She texts me every few weeks. She said, hello, Mr. Hip. Listen to this. Apologies for taking a while to respond. Now it only took her, let's see, I sent that to her on Tuesday, and she responded on, was that Tuesday? What was yesterday? Thursday? Yeah. Took her it was only 2 days, Michelle. Hello, Mr. Hip. Apologies for taking a while to respond. We have been working 12 to 15-hour shifts. That is a lot. I'm doing well, and I hope you guys are too. I know you're probably busy planning the Rays of Hope fundraiser. I will be there supporting you all in spirit. I do. And then I was asking if she knew somebody. She said, I didn't know who that is. But then here's what she said. I hope everyone is doing well. But here's what got me, buddy. You ready for this?
Okay.
I miss and love you all. We love you too, Michelle.
Yeah.
Miss that sweet girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's tearing me up.
She's the only one that can keep us in line.
Michelle, if I can figure out a way to pay you upwards of $70,000 a year, would you come back and work for us? Now I can't do that, but would you if I could? We miss her.
Is that open to anyone?
Yeah. Billy's like, huh? Trust me, if I could pay myself, it'd be awesome.
I'd be happy just paying myself,
Hey, well, thanks for hanging out with us. It's been a fun week. Many of you joining us online. Stephanie Pitts was with us earlier. Good morning to you, Stephanie, the Horn family. A lot of people joining us.
Special day for Stephanie.
Oh, what is it?
I think it's her birthday.
Is it really?
I think so.
Hold on. We got it. This is where the Facebook comes into play, right? Uh-oh. Here it goes.
She picked a bad day to watch, Steph.
Here you go, Stephanie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Advantage Specialties, Stephanie Pitts. Happy birthday
to you.
And many more. There you go. See, you get a special birthday. That's pretty good, Billy.
Yeah, I think she just went up on the cost of our stuff.
Yeah, we lost about 30 viewers on
that,
too. Well, no, seriously, thank y'all for hanging out with us. It's been a fun week. We've got more in store for next week. Show continues to get new guests as well. Ran across a couple of people yesterday at the Lions Club event. They said they've heard about the show and they want to come on, and I gave them the link. I said, come on. We're going to have Chaster Henley joining us soon. He was a young man that I met literally 10 days ago, and now he and I became good friends just in 10 days. His story's incredible. And we're going to have Chaster to come on the show and share more about him as well.
And we've had 2 different people request for us to review 2 different restaurants. We need to, and we might have to do that during a regular weekday or something.
Yeah, because it's going to be tough. One of them is Daisy Diner, right out there.
Daisy's Diner, and then the African food place over on Montgomery.
Yes, we got to do that. So we appreciate all of you.
Oh, look at there! I mean, someone actually made a suggestion to us.
Yeah,
look at that, and we're going to do it.
So make the suggestions. That's what we're here for. By the way, Autumn Wheaton said, wow, you guys sing pretty good. She gives us a thumbs up.
Yeah, you should probably get your ears checked.
Yeah, do that, by the way. And speaking of ears checked, I know I keep lingering on here, but this is important. Kay Boning was with us Wednesday. She opened up my ears to something that I had no idea. Did you know that loss of hearing can lead to cognitive decline?
Yeah.
And dementia and things? I had no idea.
I need to get my hearing checked because I've noticed that I'm having to do the whole head thing now, like where you try to tune in.
I thought you were just trying to holler at somebody.
Like Jacqueline and her best friend were talking the other day, and I was sitting beside them, and we were at Greg's house in Greg's garage where we're at. He's got a television. I'm watching television, and the girls are sitting on this little bench right beside me, and they're carrying on a conversation. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, well, I wonder why they're not talking. And I look over, and they are talking. I'm like, oh crap.
By the way, I wasn't able to make it. I wasn't able to make it, but congratulations to James graduating here this past week. And I know y'all had a nice get together for him out there at Greg's place.
Mm-hmm.
But James, congratulations, buddy. He's going to do great things. I know.
Start school on Monday.
EMT school, so he's going to do great. So I just want to tell you congratulations, and James, congratulations. That's a pretty cool. What's that feeling like as a dad having the first one graduate, man? Is it surreal?
Yeah, I don't think it's like officially hit us because, we were all taking bets. I was going to cry like a baby at the graduation, and I just knew it was going to. But I didn't, and I haven't, and I don't know. I guess because he hasn't left down that driveway yet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because he's still there, and he's still just James. For those of y'all that know him, he's still just James. He's still. I love him dearly, and he irritates the crap out of me at the same time because we're just alike.
Yeah.
So I'm still in that stage right now. But I know whenever he dons that, because they have to wear uniforms, and he has the uniforms.
Oh, cool.
And he has to wear the uniform for school. I think when he hammers down that driveway for the first time in that uniform, then it's probably going to hit like a ton of bricks.
We'll have Jacqueline out there with the camera, and we'll make sure to
capture we got to do the first and last day of school pictures.
Yeah. And I'd like for him to get some tin cans, aluminum cans.
Drag them out.
Put them out and put some, drag them down there.
See if I got some Dr. Pepper cans or something.
What is the school? Where does he go to school for that?
Well, he's going to Lone Star for the EMT, and then he's on a waiting list. Which Jacqueline says wait list, but when I hear that, I automatically think like poundage.
Oh,
but he's on a waiting list for the TEACS Fire Training Academy, which is in College Station. And he's going to get the EMT, then go to the firefighting school, and then hopefully Chief Mathis and them will be gracious and hire the boy since he's a local. And
yeah.
Well,
man, I think he's going to do great. I know he's going to do great.
I guess I need to start going and mowing Greg's grass now or something to get on his good side.
Yeah, I'll volunteer to help you with that. So.
Wash and wax his truck.
Just go out there, power wash the driveway.
What can I do for you, Chief? Bring him breakfast in bed unannounced.
Hey, one other last thing, too. Speaking of which, 4 Huntsville firefighters were just named.
I saw that.
We put the article out after receiving some information. You can read about it on Hello Huntsville. Pretty cool for those guys. So,
if that don't show you that we're doing the right thing, then nothing will.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, hey, we love you. Thanks for hanging out this week. Billy, appreciate you, man. Always fun here on a Faithful Friday. And we're going to remind you, get out and make a difference. A lot going on this weekend. Go to our website, HelloHuntsvilleTX.com, and support these folks that are supporting us, helping us to bring the good news to you.
Have I told you what I started telling my kids in the morning now?
No, what is that?
What are you going to do to make the world a better place today?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do they answer you?
No.
But you're telling them.
But hey, man, I'm planting the seed. Go ahead.
I love it. Plant the seed. I'll end the show with this, as we end every show, reminding you that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own, friends. We're really not. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. I guarantee somebody out there needs you. And as always, good morning, and God bless you, Huntsville. We'll see you back at it on Monday. And Billy, your new tagline.
What are you going to do to make the world a better place? Am I pointing at the camera too?